A half hour, I want to sign off on that.
Yeah.
Thomas Buffenbarger, International President for the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers.
You have some issues today that you're going to be raising at the convention around the resolutions. What are your concerns?
Well, the issues, we have made proposals to amend the AFL-CIO Constitution along the lines of Article 20, which is a very important article for almost every union that sits in that convention hall. It deals with the relationship among all the unions and about rating one another. And the application of the AFL-CIO's Solidarity Charter system has led us to make these proposals because Solidarity Charters do not work. And they've offered up an avenue for organizations that want to raid to make it a phony affiliation with a bona fide affiliate of the AFL-CIO, and somehow the protections of the AFL-CIO Constitution have migrated to non-members of the AFL-CIO, and we want to fix that.
Now, the change to win when they split from the AFL-CIO, they left the AFL-CIO, they said that they wanted to do massive organizing. And what's happened with that? They said that the AFL-CIO wasn't organizing. What's the result of now 2013?
Well, to answer that question, we haven't seen any positive results of organizing, and I think the SEIU now is seeing a decline somewhat. They've had internal conflict inside their union. The Teamsters have not done massive organizing except to raid other unions that belong to the AFL-CIO.
And the Teamsters have just had a raid against your union at American Airlines. What was that about?
Well, they did not raid us at American. They raided us at U.S. Airways. It's the TWU that represents American. The IAM prevailed very handily in that election, and our members understood the value of the benefits of becoming machinists versus, mule drivers. So it goes to show when you take care of the membership, you service them, you provide them the value and the benefits of a strong trade union, they're going to stay with that union. Now, think of the millions of dollars the Teamsters spent in this effort that could have been applied to organizing unorganized workers, and the millions of dollars we spent defending workers who were already organized.
Well, that's one question. I mean, it seems the majority of workers in this country are not organized, yet it seems that more and more unions are fighting each other over workers that are already organized. What does this say about the state of labor?
It says there are some pariah unions out there, bottom feeders, that find it's easier to take on an established collective bargaining situation than it is to build from scratch. Our union doesn't raid. We defend our members, and the idea that we build something positive and move it forward is what we're about. And it's a shame we have to waste the time defending the work we do.
Now, some of these labor councils and state bodies, you have SEIU, you have Teamsters on them. Are you saying that they should be removed from these state bodies and labor councils?
Yes, they should. They are not full participants under the banner of the AFL-CIO, and they certainly don't subscribe to its principles, and therefore I think there's no place for them inside the House of Labor.
But wouldn't that weaken like labor councils where SEIU has a large number of members? And I think that was one of the reasons they wanted to keep them in, because it was a great loss of membership and dues for these local bodies or state bodies.
Well, it's a decision that has to be made. Are we true to our principles, or are we true to a dollar?
How has this rating affected your union in examples? I mean, as far as from why you're raising this here?
It causes us to divert resources to defend the defense of the union instead of being on the offense organizing unorganized workers.
The other issue is deregulation and what's happened as far as the economy, U.S. economy. It seems like it's continuing deregulation. Has there been any campaign to educate the public in the United States about the effect of deregulation and the effect on working people and on the economy?
Well, deregulation is one of my all-time favorite subjects. Everything we've deregulated, starting in the 1970s, from trucks and air transportation to the banks to Wall Street, the repeal of Glass-Steagall laws, deregulated the communications industry, we've deregulated pharmaceuticals. I cannot name one example where deregulation provided a better benefit in the long term term or the short term for the American public. So educating them every day they want to buy a ticket to fly on a plane or travel on a train or send their kids to school. They should learn there's pain associated with deregulation. Now, what can we do to turn this around? Reinstate a law like Glass-Steagall that keeps banks from having so much power they can upset our economy. It puts a little security back into our economic system. We could do much more to shore up and guarantee the pension system in this country. Deregulation of transportation led to the problems our Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation have today. There are so many things we could do and prove that a regulated society actually is more efficient than the world we live in today.
Now, the ILW withdrew from the AFL-CIO. They said that they were being raided. What's happening from your point of view?
The ILWU, I'm sure, had their reasons for withdrawing. I am not too aware of it. I know there are jurisdictional disputes on the docks, especially on the West Coast. Sometimes it involves the IAM, most times it probably doesn't. However, I'm sorry that they left. I wish they have stayed within the House and we could have found a mutually agreeable solution to this.
And you feel the same way about the SEIU and the Teamsters? They shouldn't have left the AFL-CIO?
None of the unions who left in 2005 should have left the AFL-CIO. If they had their disagreements and their contrary opinions, stay in the House and fight it out. It's just like belonging to a family, your brothers and sisters.
The question, why don't they have a debate and a struggle on the issues within the AFL-CIO? Because it seems like easier thing is just pull out. I mean, what's going on?
I'm not the one to ask that question. We're still in it, and we're raising hell when we have issues to raise hell about.
So you believe that if you have differences, have a debate, have a struggle over those differences?
I believe they have a fight over the differences, have that argument, have that debate, and also it's one thing to complain about things, it's another to come with a solution to offer that you think will fix the things. And that's what we've always practiced in the IAM.
And it seems like labor is getting a short end as far as the media, corporate-controlled media. What do you think about the idea of a labor channel or labor having its own vehicle to get its stories out? It seems like the deregulation, privatization, all these issues are not really reaching people in this country.
In 2005 at the AFL-CIO convention, the IAM offered up the idea when the government was auctioning off a large number of spectrum for cable television. The opportunity was there, satellite TV. The opportunity was there to get into radio, which now satellite radio is a big thing, and to get into cable television. And it was a much cheaper proposition then in those auctions than it would be to do it today. If we had done it all those years ago, maybe I wouldn't have that question today, and people would see every day, get their news with a bent from the labor movement that would be, I think, very positive for the national debate in this country.